Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Here's Allen. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Going for it on 4th down, Allen. He's going to launch it for Washington. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, there has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Here we go, D, get off the field. 35. Yep. Check me out. 25. Check 25. Switch. Look at me. Go. Hit it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Klein. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Fielded just inside the 30. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This one caught by Davis. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Let's go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, Delta. 35's the mic. Gotta do better. Now. QB, come on. Mike 35. Mike 35. Shoot.
From the gun. Klein. They will find Davis. That's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Klein. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Klein. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Steps away to his left, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Off play action. Klein. Flushed out right. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward.
Watch out, watch out. Tight ready.
To throw on third down. Klein, pretty move. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And Butker able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give the defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go. Shift, shift.
After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Williams. And he's got some space here. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. With touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I like that. It'll help him in contract time. You could into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards, a first down. This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. On the draw, this is Fournette. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, orbit. I smell fear in that offense. 35's the mic. Let's go, D. Big series. Go. Check. Go on. Alert 3. Go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Klein. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off.
So that's back-to-back drives where the 3
goes down. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Klein. And the pressure gets to him again. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone can go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Smooth. On secret.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Klein. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Returnable here from the 38. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they?
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Check. 57. Watch the screen.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd and a couple, Allen. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Throwing to start the drive. Klein, he's going deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Marquise Brown, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Allen going to throw. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Vikings send out their punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. The final shot before break. Klein. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
We got this.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Again, it's Fournette. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Klein. That steers running back, Leonard Fournette. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
On second down, they'll run with White. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On play action, Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. After the sack, here's second and 11. Here's Allen to throw it. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Allen going to try and throw on third down. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
56. Hey, Haywood. Let's go.
They do go for it. Here's Allen. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Heck of a 4th and short conversion. They end up getting north of 20 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Throwing now is Allen. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Allen, he'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
On the ground, this is Williams. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. Klein taking a deep shot here. And got his man complete. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman. 84 yards. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they'll go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it with Williams. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. To the air, Allen hit. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Following the fumble recovery, Klein. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Ready.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Back to throw. Klein. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. On 4th down, Klein. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Williams. He juked him. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Chiefs, 24.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10. They give it to Williams, running right. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once
it's caught at the 10. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. So with a big gainer anyways, they'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. Looking to throw. Klein. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Pull it together.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. Now White lost the football. A call in luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. They run it again with Williams. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27, no first down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down?
Topper! You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. He's going to launch it for Washington. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 42. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hey, foxtrot.
Throwing again. Klein. Now a desperation throw deep down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now, to put someone back deep.